Well, folks, finally it's here, the Red and Tera podcast. Welcome, one and all. I'm Reds, obviously.
What's crack going, terrorist? As you know, it's good to
Yeah.
have you here. Obviously, Red, we've been talking about doing this thing since time began. I don't think podcasts were even a thing when we were talking about starting doing this. But look, it's good to be here. Hopefully, people will enjoy what we have to say. Some probably won't, but there you have it.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Yeah, we'll upset a few people, I'm sure.
First things first, we got a bit of luck because one Maxwell, the Epstein's bitch, is after getting caught and dragged in, which is fantastic news. Yeah, I can't say her first name. I'm shit with names, so Mrs. Maxwell.
No idea if that was right or not. It could have been completely off the mark.
Yeah, I've heard even people saying it, but I have I've been smoking weed since I'm 13, so left. Literally all I remember now was how to roll joints. But yeah, so it's big news. It's good news. Everyone seems to be happy with it. So the first thing I want to ask is, when is she going to die?
Hey,
Seriously?
Maxwell didn't kill herself.
No.
Is it the new Epstein? I'm gonna get a T-shirt with Maxwell didn't kill herself.
Yeah, well, them memes. Literally, I think I actually seen a meme. I seen a meme. Maxwell didn't kill herself before I seen Maxwell was caught. So that's why I love the internet. It's just it's fantastic.
Look, she's a big player in the El Pedo game. Anyone who's kind of up on things with Epstein and stuff like that, she seems to be. If you look into who her alpha was, I don't know if you know this, but her alpha used to manage Derby County.
No way.
Oxford, and he was one of the first people. He transferred Dean Saunders from Oxford to Derby County, and that's kind of why the league stepped in and said, right, you can't own two clubs in the same league. You know what I mean? So he goes back to then. He was also involved in, I think it was the Daily Mail or something like that, the pension fund. About 800 million went missing in the pension fund. And we reckon it might have been linked to him. And this guy, you see him in pictures with Gorbachev, you see him, he's heavily involved in, covert activity, we'll say. So it would look like, rather than Epstein being the main man, maybe Maxwell is a bit of a bigger figure in the background, If you believe, what the Epstein stuff, if you believe what was going on, is they would get high level political or Hollywood type figures. They get them in certain precarious scenarios and use that to blackmail them. So if you look at her outfit and his background, it kind of plays into that maybe they were involved in that. So a lot of interesting things I think are going to come out of this. A lot of interesting things. You start seeing some of the names popping up. It's going to be interesting. It'll be an eye opener for a lot of people, I think.
Happy days. So, I mean, again, as I said, you're more delved into all this than I am.
I'm not a conspiracy man at all.
I just like the memes, to be honest with you. But yeah, no, it does seem like it's going to have some major implications if you can. What I can imagine happening is the FBI telling her, look, we'll safe haven you, but just give us names and evidence.
Yeah.
And go after all the others, because
the
talk locking her up.
That they've known where she is, or they've had her for a while, but she's been traveling about. So they've either known where she's been going and who she's been meeting with, or they've had her for a while and she's cooperating. That would be more interesting. If she's giving up names and information, then there's a lot of squeaky bums out there at the moment.
Yeah.
Was it Piers Morgan and what's your man, Sugar? See, Sugar's a comment to him. Yeah. Wow. So Piers Morgan put up, people in Hollywood are a bit iffy at the moment. And then, Alan Sugar puts up a picture of him and your one Maxwell together, and radio silence, you know what I mean? Well, you tell us, Piers, she's a good mate of yours. So.
But Piers Morgan is a dodgy one. He looks like a pedo. Now, I'm not saying he is, but he has
Full
that pedo head on him.
Full
Yeah,
disclaimer.
like, if he was in the room with 50 people and you were told there's a pedophile in this room, you would walk over and tap him on the shoulder. That's all I'm saying. He has that kind of Desi from the Commitments look about him, but a more nefarious kind of, you know.
Right.
I just like again.
I don't know personally myself.
Yeah, I'm not saying he is. I'm saying he looks like one.
He's been involved in some shady shit. Like you go back to what was it, the phone when he worked in the paper and all that. He's been involved in some shady shit. You know what I mean? But is he involved in any of that? Who knows? I wouldn't jump that far without a bit of info on that. You know.
But no, I'm not accusing him. But he just seems like a sort of person who's.
It's great that we started off this podcast has been straight into the fucking bread and butter for me.
Oh yeah, we've learned already about your man that owned Derby and all that stuff. Like I didn't know that. I'm learning.
Right.
Welcome to the Red and Tera Show. You're going to learn shit.
Here.
Yeah, and you're going to hear people getting called pedophiles.
What did he make of your man? The Minister for the Greens, your man Wadwick.
Release Wadwick. You'd be saying lock up Wadwick, someone would say.
Yeah, release Wadwick. He's what are they saying? He's a good mate of your man Peter Tatchell, who's like a former British MP, but he's a bit of a pedo apologist, they're saying. And people have been asking your man Roderick, you know, what do you have to say about this? And rather than doing the honourable thing, you know, going, look, you know, whatever he said, nothing to do with me, I don't believe in it, blah, blah, blah. He's like changed his name on his Facebook and turned it to private, and he's not, so no one can message him or get in touch with him, you know what I mean? He's kind of gone underground. So people are hassling him, people are looking for answers. So we seem to be in an age where, man, your past better be squeaky clean because people are looking for things, they'll find them, you know?
And saying that though, because it seems to be like more and more pop at that, like the whole pedophilia thing is like the far lefties seem to be trying to normalize it. Like it's like being gay. It's like being gay. You've no choice.
Yeah. Well, he actually said something like, "I have friends of mine, gay friends of mine, have they had underage sex when they were younger, and they didn't feel like they were abused at all." You know, saying stuff like that. So it's like, what you're trying to say? They were abused as kids, but they didn't feel like they were being abused. So that's cool. You know what I mean?
But this is what I'm saying. Like, but back like 5 years ago, they wouldn't have even been saying that. But now it seems to be more and more. Like again, I'm noticing it popping up a bit more. People are sharing stuff where, like I think now again. This could be just, but they're adding it onto the LGBTQ'7 $ multiplied by 4. You know, they're adding the man-child love.
He does need love too.
Yeah, they're kind of adding that onto it and trying to normalize it. And
I don't know, Eddie. I haven't.
From what I've been seeing, there's a lot of stuff getting pushed online of, you know, they're doing there's a TED talk of some board talking about how.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I'm seeing more and more stuff pop up where people are coming out and trying to normalize it. And they're all the far lefties as well. Look, I hate far lefties.
And all, isn't it? They're trying to drop the age to like 14. Yeah.
No, lower.
Man,
10, I think it is.
I think, yeah. Come here. Yeah. There's a lot of things, you know, that'll go on the world that you go, yeah, I can kind of see, but you're a pedo, you're a fucking pedo, you're a scumbag, you're dirt. That's the end of it. You know what I mean?
Because I've seen that it's like a lot of them are saying that it's like, say, men who are attracted to kids but don't act on it, and that's okay. And it's like they haven't acted on it yet. There's a chance. So it's just, yeah, the world has gone bleeding. And so hopefully this Maxwell thing, she'll start giving names and we'll start seeing. Wouldn't it be great though if all the conspiracy theorists were true? You'd have a fucking ball with that. You would make a whole album called "I Told You So."
I told you. Yeah. I mean, look, there's been talk for a long time that stuff is coming out about you. I don't know, you know, your man Anthony Weiner's laptop and stuff like that. There's been loads of talk online about that, about Clinton and all that, and it's fun to delve into. And sometimes you feel like it's you nearly don't want to believe it. It's some of it is so out there, you nearly don't want to believe that people can be that evil. But I'm sure there fucking
Yeah.
are people out there that are up to those sort of sinister things. And certainly the Maxwell, if anything was ever to come over, she'd certainly be, I think, a key figure in opening that window for everyone to have a look into. And I think it's for the general public. I mean, in Ireland, how many scandals have we had with the Catholic Church and shit like that? Horrific fucking scandals in Ireland. Then you look at like Jimmy Savile and all, and the BBC complicit in covering it up, and all the people linked to him and the royal family and all. So it's not beyond the realms of possibility that there are these, and they're being taken down all the time, these huge child trafficking rings and human trafficking rings. Like, there's fucking shady shit going on out there in the world. So what just because it's high level people being linked to it, it's like, it couldn't be someone from Hollywood, couldn't be a former presidential, candidate. No, I'm not believing that. Like, how far does it have to go to be too much of a stretch? Like, so if even half of the shit is that's supposed to be on the likes of your man Wiener's laptop and all, this shit comes out.
Because I did, as I seen I think you sent it to me, or I seen it online as well. The lawyer for Flynn, I think it was, given the press brief about the laptop, and she was saying about the police officers getting sick after what
she was a senator or something, I think. I think she's a senator. That video where you're one saying, yeah. And like,
no, but my point is,
officers that seen it are committed suicide and all, like.
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is that, like, I would believe that they found some sick stuff on your man's laptop, but again, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's Hillary with girls and it's blah blah." Like, that's just the speculation part. I think I think because people go forward with that as that's the narrative, is like, well, I mean, it may be, but also it may not. Like, he may have some sick shit. Just it was Hillary was involved in the emails or whatever that, but it's doesn't mean that she's the one that's actually partaking in the. Now, I wouldn't be surprised, because again, she's a cunt with a capital cunt. So I definitely. And then when you hear about what she was doing to the victims of Bill's sexual exploits, you know what I mean. And then when the Me Too movement came out, she's all over that. So she's literally, her morals are as low as Aston Villa in the Premier League right now.
Hey, they could be lower, could be Norwich.
That's Bill.
When you see these people and they have this kind of squeaky clean public image, you think of like Ellen DeGeneres and all, and then you see when all the people who work for her and all coming out saying she's a cunt, that you'd be told, you'd be walking in the place and you'd be told by people, like, she just pick on you for no reason for one day, and you'd be told, look, don't worry about it. She does that. She'll leave you alone tomorrow and she'll do it to someone else and all. Like, proper cunt. Like, tried to get some young one working as a waitress fired from her job because her fingernails were chipped or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
My fingernails are wrecked. I wouldn't have a chance.
When you kind of see what really goes on behind the cameras with the likes of Hillary and all. Like, I remember, was it they were doing a hit or a drone strike or something on one of these fucking guys in Iraq or somewhere like that, Syria or something. And the look on her face of glee when it was like, we got him, and it's a demonic look in the eyes. And you're like, you shouldn't be happy about something like that. It should be like, shit, yeah, look, we done our job. He's a bad guy. We got rid of him. It's not like, yeah, we got him, like, fucking, sadistic, fucking evil.
But
anyway,
happy.
I'm happy enough to spend the whole night talking about this shit, but maybe that is what people tuned in for. Maybe it's not. But I think we should move on off the pedo topic. Maybe move into some. What do you think of, like, the politics? What do you think of new government?
It's funny because when the elections now are coming up, initially. And I was telling people, voting is a waste of time. I don't vote. I'm deregistered. I'm not playing the game. And everyone's like, oh, well, you don't vote. My vote counts. And now they're all going, oh, fucking votes don't count. This is a waste of time. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're wrong. I was right. Because that's what it is. Like, people have to understand that the politicians don't care. Sinn Féin don't care. Sinn Féin don't want to be in power. They disappeared for the last 3 months or so because they want to be the opposition, because it is literally the easiest job on the fucking planet is to criticize this government. And they don't want to take over. They don't. They don't want anything to do with it. I mean, and even if they did, how easily they were rolled over. They're not the sort of party that's going to come in and make all these promises and changes that they have promised. They're not. They're just not. And people are still looking, go, we vote for Sinn Féin, but where have they been? So they're just as bad as Leo. They're just as bad as, you know, Tony Holohan and all. Fuck him, mate. Just as a side note, I'm seeing a lot of people post because like what's happening to his wife is terrible, and you know, all the best to her. But stop sitting there going, oh, thank you, Tony. He's responsible for the cervical cancer scandal. Don't forget that shit. Stop, like, Irish people, stop forgetting your, like, even people are sitting there going, oh, like, with the whole Leo thing now. Oh, well, they done great with COVID, so therefore, it's like, but look what they've done for the past 5 odd years. All this shit, forget. But also, at the same time, don't think Sinn Féin are going to come in and make a difference either. We're doomed. I've said that's why I don't play the game. In fact, I'm actually I don't even really bother with Irish politics. I love politics. Don't bother with Irish politics because it's a waste of time. Like we're doomed. We have an opposition that doesn't want power, and we have people who shouldn't be in power. Like we have like Micheál is the third Taoiseach. Micheál is the third Taoiseach that Ireland has that wasn't elected by the people. And people still go and vote. They still play the game and then act like, oh my God, isn't this? You're a retard. Stop playing the game. Don't go with nobody vote. Stop demanding elections. Stop demanding referendum. Stop demanding it all because none of it. They don't care. They will do what they want. And I say fair play to them. Also, just while I'm out there, I mean, if I was to become a politician, I wouldn't be, Reza refuses to take a pay cut. Okay, right, 90 grand a year. Give me that. And if, you want to give me an extra 10 grand, yoink, I will take it. And I'll milk it as much. Sorry?
Did you see I want Doherty? What's her name? Regina or something, is it?
Yeah. Abolish the Shannon. Do you want a job in the Shannon? Yep.
Not only that, man. She was voted out. She sat in government for the last 6 months or something, while voted out, and then got a cushy job in the Shannon and gets an extra 20 grand on top for or something.
It's ridiculous. But she wanted to abolish the Shannon. Yeah, and then they're like, do you want a job in the Shannon? And she's like, of course I do. The Shannon is wonderful. Why would anyone want to abolish that? You want it. The meme
going around is hilarious. It's like the Minister for Children has dodgy toys to fucking your man. The Minister for Transport fucking cycles a bike. The Minister for Education never finished school. You know what I mean? It's just like,
but we've always
been in the first world. You know what I mean? It's like
remember Mary. What was the name? Not Mary. Is it Mary Harney? Was the
Mary Harney? Yeah, the fucking health.
Yeah, Mary Harney was the Minister for Health. Like if there was a Minister for Chippers, throw her in there. But a Minister for Health. It's like she can't spell health without running out of breath when she gets to the L. You know what I mean? But this is okay.
So now did I cut your punchline off there?
Yeah, I was about to throw out a zinger, but go on, walk away. It's ruined now.
Yeah, folks, I'm sorry. I apologise. It was a terrible joke he had lined up anyway. To circle back to your man Holohan, did you see Leo came out today and kind of backtracked on the deaths, the number of deaths? Yeah. So he said, we counted a lot of deaths that were people who were terminally ill. We counted deaths of people who weren't tested. We counted deaths of people who just might have had symptoms and all. So this would have inflated the numbers quite a bit. And we knew that was going to happen. It's like, what? Hold on a minute. You've just lied for the last fucking 3 or 4 months and people are applauding you and putting you up on a pedestal. And then just so happens Tony Holohan steps down today when he comes out and admits that we overestimated all the deaths. Who was the cunt they had out front and centre every single day going, another 50 deaths today, another 20 deaths today, people aren't allowed to go outside, people are fucking Tony Holohan, the prick. How many fucking deaths are going to be on his hands from the fucking cervical cancer coming up in the next bleeding 18 months, 2 years? How many people are going to die because of that? And that fucking prick just steps down today as soon as it's like, we better retract. The numbers are being whittled down, like. So you're literally talking a couple of hundred deaths. He fucking pilfered the country, fucking scuttled the shit of the economy, and fucking see you later, boys. We're all getting big payoffs. Yous are all gonna get screwed. The economy's through the fucking out the pisser, and we all have our cushy job set up with our little scam government. You know what I mean? And that prick Tony Hoolan goes, "Oh, well, my wife's not well, I'm out." Fucking prick.
Yeah, but that's the saying. It's but that's the saying, and they're still enforcing mandatory face masks on the bus, and people would still be like, "Oh my God, this guy's not wearing a face mask." You're the dickhead. No, I'm not going to wear it because they're talking through their balls. They're literally talking through their balls.
You're already looking at a very low percentage of death, yeah. Then a guy was on the radio today, a Trinity College epidemiologist or something like that, and he's like, "Well, if you're looking at, we maybe only counted a third of the cases, so 30,000 cases. We maybe only caught a third of them. So say 75, 80,000, 100,000 cases there would have been. With the deaths at 1,700, you're talking like 1.7% there or thereabouts death rate, yeah. When you cut them numbers down, which is what Leo came out and said today, you're looking at what they've said worldwide, a 0.03% death rate. That's if you catch it and you're over 60 or something, you know what I mean? Chance of you dying this thing or fucking next to nothing. Oh, you had the thing. Had COVID survivor. Boom. In your face, baby.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
I'm actually quite happy COVID doesn't discriminate against gingers as well, because I had a bit of because I'm very ginger.
Wear fucking face mask everywhere. That they told you don't walk or stop the virus from fucking spreading. Are you stupid? Like some boy dropped what did he fucking collapsed lung. He went for the fucking jog the other day. 2.5 kilometer jog, dropped with a fucking collapsed lung. 3 kids in China have died wearing face masks, you know what I mean? In PE. So they've stopped the kids wearing fucking face masks and PE. Are you stupid? Like? Oxygen fucking deficiency, like what's going to happen to you? Can't fucking breathe. You have a mask over your face, you thick cunt.
Yeah, it's ridiculous because the thing is that the government now are committed to the lie, and that's the problem. They're still going based off the guidelines. They
tried to redact it a little bit today, because people are still terrified out there. They still think, like, I bringing my young one into the crest there the other day, and they're spraying Dettol on her feet, and what? She's walking COVID in. What the fuck are you doing, like?
Yeah, but didn't they say you can't get it off surfaces? Oh well, it's just safer. They'll be spraying my child with. You don't know what's in them chemicals. They'll be spraying my child with this shit, and you don't know what it is. Like people are just like, they're so easily manipulated. Like I've not worn a mask at all throughout this whole entire thing, and I'm not going to. And if I do need to get a bus, I don't take public transport, like because it's the worst thing on the planet. Because I don't like people, so having to interact with normal every day. Yeah, except our subscribers and fans, of course. No, but you know what I mean. Because I like persons. I hate people. So
persons.
But all these idiots that are just kind of giving you dodgy looks, and they're like, "Oh my God, you haven't got a mask." Like the bus driver, like my taxes go towards the CIE. So don't tell me I'm not getting on the bus because I'm not wearing a fucking mask. You just have social distance on the bus anyway. Why do we need a mask? Because the government says so. But they said don't wear one at the start because it's for medical. You know, it's literally like, as the saying goes, enforcing mask wearing now is like enforcing condoms at the 12-week scan. That's where it's like, no, but people are just so hell-bent on following blindly that it's like, but if you actually, they're telling you not to do it.
You could see it was like flat the curve. Save the health workers. You know what I mean? Help the health workers. Now it's going to be lockdown for 2 months. Now it's lockdown for 3 months. Now it's social distancing. Now it's, you know what I mean? It's like, where does the madness end? Look, everything at this point, literally everything from the start to now, everything that they have said is a fact has come back as redacted. Oh, yeah, no, it wasn't quite that. Millions are going to die. Right, millions didn't die. You don't have to wear a mask. Oh, now you have to wear a mask. Science doesn't back any of it.
No.
Like you talk about the hydroxychloroquine. No, it doesn't work. Trump bad, orange man bad. You come out today saying, oh, actually, if taken early going into hospital, it's actually saving lives.
No, do you know what they actually said today? Controversial drug hydrochloroquine, or whatever the fuck it's called, It's not controversial. It's controversial because you said it was. It's not. Actually, I mean, how many deaths do they have on their hands from telling, from having it like, oh, it's so bad, don't use it.
I could get heavy into that, but I won't.
Walk away. We have an hour, pal. Walk away.
Like you had the fucking Lancet study, which they basically put fraud. The whole thing was fraudulent data. Fucking hospitals, everything was fraudulent. They put 4 neurosurgeons or something's names down on the data, and they all came back afterwards and were like, "Oh, we didn't realise the data was sham and all. Like we've nothing to do with this." It was supposed to be the biggest study ever compiled, and that anyone who was taking hydroxychloroquine, even though they didn't give any, dosages, ages, anything like that, or people are dropping dead. The next day, the WHO, right, no, can't use that. In the likes of Italy and France, they stopped using it as a treatment and immediately had spikes in deaths. Immediately. Then the Oxford done a study. They were linked in with like remdesivir and all this in terms of, I think that Gilead or something they were called. So basically, people who had a rival drug company to hydroxychloroquine were funding a study to show hydroxychloroquine didn't work. They knew, because the WHO did a study on hydroxychloroquine back in the 90s, and they knew exactly what doses they were to give people for malaria and stuff like that, and they knew what were dangerous doses. And basically in this study, they were giving people dangerous doses and killing people. There was people dying in this study, and then they were like, look, people are dying from this study. It was like, you have the manual on this. You did this study in the 90s. The WHO did it. They knew what doses you weren't to give. You knew you weren't meant to give them high doses, and they were giving them to people. And then you look at the likes of your man Fauci. Fauci knew from the last SARS, so that's what, 2005 or something like that, SARS 1. He knew hydroxychloroquine worked against that. So he knew what the data was. And he came out at the start saying, no, this is dangerous, this will kill people. People are having heart problems from it and all. It's like, this drug has been used since the 60s as an anti-malaria drug. And the problem with it is patent-free, so it's cheap to make. So you can make cheap versions of it. Anyone can go and make it. There's no patent on it. So it's like aspirin or something like that. You can just set up a company and start making this drug, you know what I mean? And then it turns out remdesivir popped up, last week or something. The new, I think it's a 5-day course or something like that. So for COVID, if you come in with COVID, they put you on a 5-day course. The dosage of this drug costs $3,000. So everybody has to pay $3,000 if you want to, you know what I mean? And it's like,
fuck it, just kill me.
Man, you are paying for studies to show that this cheap drug that they know works, because it's been shown to work, doesn't work. And you're fraudulently putting together data to prove that it doesn't work. This, you know what I mean? So it's fucking scandal, top to bottom with it.
Yeah, I'm glad you went in on that now. I have to say.
Anyway,
tune in next week to Terrorist Conspiracy Corner, where we talk about aliens.
Now, come here, from the start, because of course, when this shit popped off right at the start of COVID, everyone was kind of like, right, uncharted territories. No one really knows what's happening. No one really knows how bad this is. People are dying in China. It's coming over here. They wouldn't be locking down. They wouldn't be shutting down the economy unless it was bad. Unless people were dying, like, they wouldn't do that. You know, so you're trying to rationalize it. But from the start, man, it didn't feel right. It didn't fucking seem right. And I've been watching that hydroxychloroquine right from the start, because they were saying, look, this can be given to people, sick people, old people who are supposed to be protecting, and this can help them. And at every juncture, it was like, no. Lives could have been fucking saved, you know what I mean? So that's the shit that annoyed me. Especially in Ireland. You look at the nursing home scandal in Ireland, and you're like, they just murder people, and now they're out parading and people are clapping them saying, great job, Leo. Simon, you were brilliant. You've done a great job. No, you fucking killed people. Tony Houlihan, prick, has more blood in his hands, and people are fucking applauding him today. What a cunt.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's the thing. It goes to show, but it goes to show about the kind of Irish people mentality. It's that they're so like it's like they don't think for themselves. That's what annoys me.
We've been used as a nation for so long that we roll over and we just say, look.
Yeah, but in an age of information, that shouldn't be the case anymore. No. I mean, like, as I said, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but I was looking at this sort of shit. Shocker, right? Like, I'm no conspiracy theorist, And even though you have me getting involved, I knew from the kind of very start, and I've been hearing things, and like, you know, like a friend who's a friend is a doctor, and they're saying like, you know, like I've even heard them talking about how they're testing people 2 and 3 times a day, the same person that's positive, and adding that to the list and stuff. Like the amount of bad, like the shit that the bad, you know, the untoward stuff I've been hearing about it. So I've been saying, like, even when I'm sitting there with the missus, and she's like, "Oh, I have to watch this for the numbers," because that's exactly how she sounds. And I'd be sitting there going, "Oh, right, what's the numbers?" Because that's how I sound. no. So she'd be sitting there going like, "Oh, I want to watch the newest because of the numbers," and I'm like, "But the numbers aren't like they're not factual. You understand that, don't you?" Like, and she's like, "Oh no, dear," and it's like, and she's intelligent.
It terrifies people, you know what I mean? Yeah,
this is what I'm saying. She's an intelligent girl, but there's a fear then that's forced.
Believe the experts.
But you can't, because I mean, ironically, I was going to say ironically, I'm good at England. No, so the irony of it is that all the independent scientists that have been coming out and saying stuff, all the stuff that they've said has come out to be fact, and all the stuff that the WHO and the CDC were pushing has turned out, according to the WHO and the CDC, to be bullshit. But yet they're still going to talk about, oh, there's going to be a second wave. I was like, a second wave of what? It's like, it's not that bad. And then I was actually listening to the radio today, and they talk about getting the schools back, and this teachers union is like, oh, we want guarantees that it's going to be safe. Fuck off. My kid is a little head wrecker. Like, I love him. But he is just doing my fucking nut in. Send him back to school and let him. You're getting paid to have your head wrecked. I'm not even. I'm out of work because of this COVID shit at the minute. You know what I mean? Like, I have to rely on record sales.
Hey.
So yeah, just go to www.terrorist.com and you know what I mean. So like, yeah, so my kids are shit, and
I'll feed a broke rapper today.
Yeah, I should go start getting my kid to rap while he's fucking. But you know, and then the schools are coming out, and it's like, oh well, we don't know. We might come back for like one day, and then we'll split it. No, take them fucking back. The people in Tesco's have to come in every single day around people. You're not special, teachers. I'm sorry. Fair play to you. You do a decent job, and all we see, we don't even see. You're not even educating kids properly, but we just get a break from them. So give us a break. We've had the little bastards for an extended.
We want you to be the teacher now as well. Like, you have to sit at home with them and do all the homework online with them and all. Like, it's not.
But see, my kid's at the age where he doesn't even do homework. All I could teach him to do is roll. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong. Yeah, my kid can make a whopper cup of coffee now. You know what I mean? But that's about it. Like, that's all he's learned. Like, but yeah, no, it's just, and the amount of like these people that are coming out and still trying to use COVID, to like they're still pushing that fear, because people are listening to the radio going, oh my god, this must be still it's like, let's just get back to fucking work. Like, let's just go back, open everything up. Like I was just saying, there's like, they're not letting people go and get sourced. They're not letting people go get smear tests and, you know, all that sort of shit. But you can go to McDonald's and it's grand. You can go shopping in Pennies, like, where, like, I had to go to Pennies the other day with her, right?
I fucking love you.
Yeah, I know. Like, it was horrific. That's a podcast. It's a podcast in itself, my friend. I try not to go there as often as I could. But when you walk in, and it's not even like, I mean, first of all, when I was walking in, the security guard is like, oh yeah, hand san. And I was like, nah, use him in the car, but you have to use him. Fuck off. And just walked in, because I'll have no hands left. You know what I mean? Like, I need to have a bit of dirt on my hands as a ginger, because once I walk outside, they're sunburning. Like, there's a light on at the minute, and I have factor 50 on, just to be safe. You know what I mean? Us gingers, we're not day walkers. So I'm not rubbing all the good germs off my hand and leave myself exposed. But I said to man, no, I have some in the car, because she makes me bleeding, put it on my hands or whatever that. Like, so I'm just putting my hand on, and then you walk in, you want more. I'm like, no, fuck off. But once you walk in, it's a free for all. It's an absolute free. I had some mad Elwin. I was standing there because she was off looking at the knickers or something like that. Like, and I'm like, I've seen Father Ted. I'm going up this way. So I went up to the far end where the bloke stuff is, and there's just people. Like, I'm standing maybe a foot, like not even a foot from I think I was looking at fucking jocks or something like that. Like, and this mad Elwin just got right past me, like squeezing past me, and I was like, well, I don't care, love, you're 60, you'll be, not me, I'm grand. But the fact that people are still doing all this shit is like, aren't you supposed to be...
the shops with the mask and the big rubber gloves on, and then they're leaning over you to grab shit. It's like, are you trying to protect me here by wearing that, or protect yourself? Because like,
yeah,
there's walking, boy, you're a bit stupid looking, man. Get away from me, like.
yeah.
Like this social distancing thing, it never really bothered me because get the fuck out of my space anyway. I don't want to be standing beside.
Oh, look at social distancing. I'm a fan of, because, as I'm saying already earlier, I don't like people.
Hate queuing. I hate fucking queuing. Just let me in and out.
And with the rain and all starting to come back,
I'll tell you.
the rain and all coming back as well, it's a bit of a pain in the arse.
Champion. You got to some football topics, I think. We're playing you the weekend. How do you feel? Can you capitalise?
Well, after Man City spanked us, I was like, oh, they're going to batter us now because they have a point to prove. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know I had no ambitions of beating you anyway, but now I'm like, it's going to be like a telephone number. You know what I mean? Like, I have Salah in my team, my fantasy football team, and I'm triple captaining this weekend because it's going to be a free for all. Like, we're just.
Like,
there's very little.
Was a tough one. I know we came back and won it like the fucking 89th minute. We equalised and then scored the winner, but I can't see what Villa. I just fucking can't see in that team. That fight isn't there or something.
It's not. We're playing okay. We just can't score goals. That's the problem. We're all right, and then when it gets a bit later on in the game, the heads drop because we're trying and trying. We can't get the goal, and then boom, we lose fucking 3-0. Like even against Chelsea, scored that goal against the run of play, bro. It was like lovely right before half time, perfect. But just sit down now. Like I'd even sneak a few subs on. They just say to the ref, "Here, ref, look over there," and just throw extra players on. I'd have done that, you know, just to try and keep that fucking 1-0. I'd have took a 1-1. But as soon as the first goal goes in,
Giroud came on, wasn't it? And he kind of changed. He was a tag.
Yeah, that French sexy bastard.
Yeah,
pissing me off. Like, yeah, cunt. But so like football.
I mean that match last night as well, the Liverpool match. Like it could have been 2 or 3 all at half time. Like the amount of chances Liverpool missed. It wasn't a 4-0 game until about the last 10 or 15 minutes, and then like it kind of felt like a training match the whole way through. Anyway, it didn't have the same intensity that it should have.
No, it didn't. But in fairness, like Liverpool didn't look.
Man City were clinical. Like,
so good. Kevin De Bruyne is just like
unbelievable.
Like I'm not gay, but if Kevin De Bruyne took his willy out, I might give it a little lick. You know what I mean? Just because he's Kevin De Bruyne. But that's, you know what I mean? That's how good he is at football. That is how good at football. Like, you'd probably lick the tip.
That's a compliment.
Just a little lick. Here you go, Kev. Go on. Get us a hat-trick. I have him in my team as well. So, he's just a smashing fucking player. Like, he's so good to watch. Like, his passing ability and his vision. Like, he's like a kind of an Iniesta.
His awareness of space. The way you just pull off the shoulder and you create acres of space for himself all the time. Like there was one early on in the match where he kind of ran. He was in the centre second. He kind of ran behind Fabinho's left shoulder and then just cut to his right and got the ball played in. And he had acres of space, acres.
And even that one he put through for Jesus?
Yeah.
The way he just kind of done Henderson. Henderson thought he was going that way and then just cut his run back over this way. The ball came through, just turned one touch, and it's just so his ability to beat the game.
He doesn't shy away from doing the other stuff. He chase around, he make tackles, he gets stuck in, like he doesn't shy away from that either, you know. So he's one of the most complete midfielders. Like for me, I look at what he does and I'm like, that's what Gerrard was for Liverpool, only better.
It's the new and improved version of what Gerrard
more
was doing.
Ability. Like Gerrard had more grit about it. More grit. Like he'd get stuck in, he'd grab the game with a scruff of the neck. He'd a bit more of that about him. De Bruyne has a little bit of that, not so much, but he has on the ability scale. He's, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he dominate a game. Like in a game with top players, he still stands out head and shoulders above everyone else. But it's good to have the football back, isn't it? I tell you, tonight, there's I think it's like Millwall and Charlton on. I was looking to it game, see if there's any footy on. I look at that and I said, you know what? 3 weeks ago, I'd have been fucking saying, hell yeah, I'll have a bit of chatting against Millwall tonight. It was like, yeah, bollocks.
Yeah.
Not a fucking chat.
It's actually, well, for me, what's good is I might be able to start watching Sky Sports News again. I miss it. I haven't watched it in 2 or 3 weeks because it's just horrific. Like, I'm a firm believer, and I don't care what people say, keep sport and politics separate. But the way Sky Sports have like gone so far on board that the BLM stuff, it's like I can't even watch you because I'm watching you to get away from that. Like, it's all over Facebook, it's all over Twitter, it's all over Instagram, it's all over online, it's on the TV, it's on the news. So go to the football page or the football channel to watch, to get away from it all, and you're putting it on, and it's like in an hour show, it's 45 minutes BLM and then 15 minutes of football talk, and it's just so fucking frustrating. But it seems now that the Premier League have copped onto the BLM stuff, that it's like, obviously everyone's against racism, but the BLM movement is a far left ideology, and they've exposed themselves the other day with their tweets and forced the FA to come out and say, well, look, although we're not part of any political blah blah. Well, they are, because when your man put that All Lives Matter thing, they were all like, oh, the guy puts a racist thing up. So they are political. What I think happened is that their views had dropped so significantly that they had to come out and act like that's what it is, but really because people have turned off Sky Sports News en masse. Like, they've lost. I mean, most of these BLM, like, far lefties and all, they don't even watch football. You know what I mean? They're in knitting Aaron jumpers and wearing all this bleeding hippie shit. You know what I mean? They're not football fans. They're pandering to a bunch of guys that don't even watch our show anyway, and they're turning off all your actual fans. Now, again, everyone's against racism. Well, most people are against racism, and actual racism, not the 2020 definition of it. Actual racism, most people don't like racism and they don't tolerate it. But the way they've gone on with Sky Sports News, it was unbearable, and I had to turn her off. I haven't stuck her on in ages, but I've seen that Patrice Everett, fair play to Patrice Everett, whipped off the badge. Gary Neville's taking her off. So all of that's starting to, and apparently all the captains are starting to come out. And that's good for me. It's like, because wherever your beliefs is, whether you're racist or you're not racist, whether you're black or you're white, it doesn't matter. Keep that shit out of sport, full stop. Entertainment is there to be entertained, and politics is there. Like, that's why they're called separate things. Keep them in separate boxes. Don't even come on to me justifying, oh, well, you know, fuck off. Entertainment, football, let's stick the football to the football and stick the politics to the politics.
You think last year there was loads of incidents. Remember Balotelli walking off? Remember your man, what's his name, off Everton, the young fella they got from Juventus?
Yeah. I know you're talking about. I can't think of his name though. I remember
him getting the monkey chance. The fella off. There was a fella in Portugal as well, walked off the pitch. He was getting abuse and all. There's no place for that. And
no.
I think that's what the sentiment was when the likes of Sky Sports and all they jumped on the.
No, it's not. It's not.
But I think in terms of the players and all, like when you see the All Lives Matter thing and all, that was someone trying to wind people up. That was done for shits and giggles. That was done to act the bollocks.
But even the All Lives Matter thing is stupid. If you're going to jump onto a BLM thing, you can't then demonize the opposition, because otherwise you are saying, okay, we are political.
Get it. I'm trying a little bit to stick up for the sentiment from the football end of it was, look, a lot of our athletes are black and we have always fought against racism. So now there seems to be a movement. So we're going to show we support. Now, they went way too far.
That's the problem. They did. Yeah. It went beyond support.
Look,
it went on to pushing an agenda.
Like, you have that girl, the kind of Asian girl in America. I don't know if you've seen it online.
Talking about stabbing people.
Yeah, you know, like next person who says all lives matter, I'm going to stab you. And then while you're crying over bleeding out, I'm going to show you my paper cut on my finger and say all cuts matter, you know. Stupid shit.
But did you see she got fired from her job? Which is beautiful. It's beautiful, because it's the sort of thing that I keep trying to say to these people who even support all this far left ideology, whether they're far left or not themselves. but the people who aren't, like, they're supporting this cancel culture and hate speech. It's like,
Yeah, and
it's going to come back to you. It's going to come back to you.
Yeah, hey, you know what I mean?
Exactly, but
but
they think. No, go on.
Well, you look at the Black Lives Matter movement, right? It's Marxist. It's Marxist. You have the likes of Lord Jamar coming out and saying the leader of the Black Lives movement is George Soros. You know, like it's a political move. It's a full political movement. It's got very little to do with the lives of black people and how they might feel subjugated or feel unequal in society. It's very little to do with that. It's propped up on the top of that, and that's used as the face. Like, so
they've exploited a situation.
But I kind of understand in football they kind of pandered. It was like the Colin Kaepernick thing. They were kind of pandering a little bit, but they needed to really show, right, we support our players and all that. And like, I'll give it a little bit of leeway, but they need to keep it out of football now.
Well, no, I mean, as I'm saying, obviously everyone's against racism, but the thing is, like, see all those idiots that are doing the monkey chants and all those idiots that, like, the BLM movement to change their mind, and Sky Sports News talking about it isn't going to change them. They're fucking idiots. These are people who are idiots that you're not going to change their minds. That, you know, they're just Neanderthals. You know what I mean? They're I'm not going to say they're beyond reproach, but that's not how you're going to solve racism. Like, anyone that you catch doing monkey chants or whatever, that, fuck them out of the ground. You don't get back in ever. Lifetime ban. I'm cool with that. Everyone's cool with that. Get rid of that. It's fine. But when you see players coming in and talking about, like, say, there's not enough black managers, they're talking about equity. But that's because most black people don't apply for management. They don't go into management. It's not because, oh, well, you're black, so you don't get the job. Here, John, do you want this job? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so...
I don't know about that.
No, it's not. Honestly, it's because...
The most qualified person for the job. Like, you're seeing it in Irish politics.
A meritocracy, yeah. A meritocracy, that's what you want.
They were complaining, saying, oh, there's only 42% of the new Dáil is women or something like that. The figure is probably completely wrong. But it's like, there's not enough women. And it's like, well, hold on a minute. There's loads of women there. It's not as if in Ireland it's kind of like, oh, well, if you're gay, you can't. No, a Taoiseach is gay. Or was. Yeah. Taoiseach was. It
should be a meritocracy.
Was an Indian man. Yeah, I know, but like, you're having people come, oh, there's not enough now. No, well, at the end of the day, it has come down to, you're not just putting people in the position because they're a woman, because they're black, because they're Indian, because they're whatever. It's the best person for the job. So if you're going for a managerial job, it shouldn't just be, well, we haven't got enough black managers in the Premier League or represented. It's like, no, the best man for the job. Like, look at Santos at Wolves. Like, I love him. If Klopp steps down, I would fucking have him in a heartbeat at Liverpool. It's not because he's black. It's not because he's German. It's not because he's Portuguese. It's not because he's English.
Exactly, he's a good manager. Exactly. I mean, and Sterling talking about, oh, look at Sol Campbell. Look at everything is different. Race isn't the reason, and that's what's annoying. Like, they're forcing. It's like they're looking for racism as opposed to racism being there. They're going out scoping it. I mean, I've seen this other thing where the fellow was talking about the commentary that it's like 65% of white people white players get spoken about their ability or their intelligence of reading the game, and it's only 35% that are like it's their athleticism and skill. And, that makes black people think that they're not good enough to become manager. No, it doesn't. Shut the fuck up. They're trying to find racism where it isn't. And if you have to do that, maybe you don't have a point. Maybe you are you're going overboard with this sort of shit. You know what I mean? It's like everything is everything should be a meritocracy. And not like Sol Campbell got a job for was it Wickham or Woking or one of them, South End or something like that, and then moved to another yoke. And he said, well, and in a few years he will be up there. If you look at all the other Premier League managers, like Klopp was in Germany, and if you go through the players, like Mourinho started off in Porto, and before Porto was somebody else. No, but what Sterling did was he took Gerrard and Lampard and Sol Campbell. And it's like, well, look, this is proof. I was like, it's not, because there's loads of managers there that have all started off at lower league teams and earned their way up. Gerrard is with Rangers. They're a League Two team, in fairness. Let's be honest. They're big in Scotland, but, if they were to come down, they'd be a League One team. That's the calibre that they're at. They're just big in Scotland. and they got onto Gerrard, blah blah, for whatever reason. But it's not like, oh, what is Sol Campbell because he's black? Who, Gerrard, do you want to? So the way they have to kind of nitpick these sort of things just to give themselves a point. And then Sky Sports are backing it because they're afraid to say you're talking shy, pal.
Yeah, well,
and it's just driving me mad. So it's like, just keep it separate. Keep this shit out of football. We don't need it. You know what I mean? We don't need it more. Just let us have the football.
Racism has always been in football.
Yeah, the fans and all that stuff are always been, but it's getting a lot better than it was. It's a lot better than it was 10 years ago. Much better than it was 20 years. So much better than it was 20 years ago.
But some people say that there's no place for it. It shouldn't be there. It shouldn't be an issue. You know what I mean? And I'm sure there has been incidents.
I agree.
I'm sure there has been incidents over the years where a guy has gone in for a job and because he was black didn't get it. But I'm sure there's been incidents where like a guy has been with a club underage, he's got all his coaching badges, and he should have got a job and he didn't. You know,
that's what I'm saying. It happens. Like nobody is like, you can't take these little kind of one instances and then act like that's the majority. I mean, I'm against that. If there's some black manager that goes to the job and doesn't get it because he's black, whoever doesn't give him that job because he's black should be fucking sent to, you know what I mean? Get out of the game. We don't need that sort of shit. It should be a meritocracy. If a club believes that you're good enough and whatever, and the fans are all going to, you know, oh yeah, this manager's coming in, excellent. Let's, you know what I mean? Let's get behind him. But then that's the manager you hire. But don't be, you know, hiring people just like affirmative action, because that doesn't end racism. Because if you've got managers going for the job that are more qualified and they're white and they're not getting the job because they're white, that's not going to end racism. It just prolongs it and kicks the can up the road, because those people ain't going to be happy about not being picked because of the colour of their skin either. So it's just like, let's just all go in a meritocracy. But the main point is, Sky Sports News, shut the fuck up and just show us the sports. Show us the sports. We don't care. Like, we can have these conversations about race on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on all these sort of like, Sky Sports News have a fucking dedicated news channel that can cover this shit. What are you bringing it onto the sports page for? We understand your heart might be in the right place, but you've lost so many viewers. Like, even when you see the pages that they're going up on Facebook and they're putting the jokes in the top, and people that the majority of posts are coming in, they're against it, saying, look, I don't want your opinion. I don't want Jamie Redknapp's opinion on racism. You know what I mean? Why the fuck is want Jamie Redknapp's opinion on racism? I don't even want Jamie Redknapp's opinion on football, to be honest with you. But that's his job. Go in and do your job. Punditry is redundant anyway. But when you stick it on, it's easy listening. You put it on in the background and you just kind of sit there and you watch it and you wait for the goals to come on. But now it's like, you know, like Trent Alexander, BLM on these boots. And it's been mentioned 15 times in the game. It's like, shut the fuck up, pal. Yeah, tell me like, who he passed it with those lovely boots on. Who did he kick the ball to? That's what I want to know. Not what boots he's wearing.
Every time he took a cross or a free kick, it was like, imagine these boots could be the boots that put the ball in the top corner in a Merseyside derby with Black Lives Matter. It's like, come on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're overkilling it to the point that they're making normal, happy-go-lucky people like myself into these, you know, ranty ginger.
Not someone who has all the time in the world to sit at home, figuring out what's going to fucking piss me off today, what's going to be.
Yeah. Because I know it's not like me to rant, but I just had to get that out there, because Sky Sports News is like.
All we should say is it's good to have the football back. Let's be honest.
Well, yeah, no, it is.
It's a better place with football.
Well, it is for you because you follow Liverpool. Try to be a fucking Villa fan. It's absolutely heartbreaking, I have to say. Like, oh, it's so bad.
You know how bad it is as a Liverpool fan when you can actually remember the last time we won a league. That's when you know you're old as fuck.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's good.
Oh, we have to say as well, actually, R.I.P. to Abdul Khabib's. I don't know, I can't say his name. Yeah, what's his name? Abdulhamid Nurmagomedov. Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, he'd have a rapid score in Scrabble. But
I don't like to be a little bit insensitive, right? But like he had coronavirus right at the start, so you're talking back in March. And they were still saying today that he died of coronavirus complications. It's like, man, he didn't die of coronavirus complications. Yeah, if he had heart problems or something, was like, that's what he died of. You know what I mean? that shit kind of annoyed me a little bit. Look, Khabib is a legend. His outfit was always there in his corner. You know, he was a well-respected man in and around MMA and well-known. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
that day, but come on, like he fucking when Khabib wasn't traveling for that Ferguson fight, that's back in like when was that? April,
March,
May, something like
March, wasn't it? Was it March?
Yeah, I can't remember. April, I think it was. So the start of April. I think the fight was meant to be in April, and then they cancelled the card or whatever, and then it was May or something like that. But back then, he had complications. He went into hospital for coronavirus. Like, that's 3 months ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's everything is going to be coronavirus until it's gone.
You can't push that narrative still, you know.
Oh, they will.
But come in, I don't mean to be insensitive because...
No, it's not. It's an honest talking point at the minute because it's like, again, it's like the way like the media are using coronavirus when it suits them. Like, so when the end of lockdown protest was coming on, it was, oh, you can't do this coronavirus. Then the BLM rioting started and no mention of coronavirus and it was fine. Now that they're talking about like 4th of July celebrations and they discovered that all of a sudden now, this year, it turns out that 4th of July is racist. It wasn't up until the point. But now they can't do it because they're back in then. But they says that the BLM protests were actually safer because it turns out you're more likely to get it at home. But now all of a sudden it's not more likely to get it home, so you have to stay at home on the 4th of July celebrations. You can't go out because all of a sudden the coronavirus thing that was, say, when you're doing the BLM riot, it was actually safer to be out than be at home. But now coronavirus says, actually, it's too chilly out. Let's go.
Okay. So if you buy a meal with your drink, you won't get coronavirus. But if you leave after that, yeah, okay. Makes sense.
It's so bizarre. And as I said, like you look at UFC, you've got fucking 2 lads with masks on thin off, and then the next day they're bleeding into each other's mouths. Like the whole thing is just bizarre.
The one thing I will say is, if that little bit of pandering was enough to get the fighting back on, well then fuck it. You know what I mean? Let them wear.
No, I understand, but for me, it just highlighted how ridiculous that this whole COVID shit is.
Think about right at that first fight, wasn't your man Jacare Souza? Now he faced off. I think it was Uriah Hall or something like that, and they faced off, and he had the mask on. And it turned out he had coronavirus. So if they had faced off without that mask, they'd have probably pulled that fucking event. So, you know.
Stop ruining me rant, right? No. Stop. Which are little facts and all.
Yeah. One thing I want to say is, what do you think? Do you think Khabib will fight Gaethje in September? Do you think that fight will go ahead?
No, not now. No, because them like he's so close to his dad. It's going to take him fucking months to get over this.
Like
so I don't think so.
July. And that fight is in September, so you're talking July, August, 8 weeks, 9 weeks.
Conor and Justin Gaethje on now instead. That's probably what's going to happen. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. So again, because I know like Khabib not coming over for the Ferguson and I'm not leaving Russia and all. People, and this is what I always find funny is that people go, oh yeah, Khabib is a bitch because he's afraid. It's like, hold on a second. You see that like nobody can ever call any MMA fighter a bitch. Because the fact you're getting into that ring, you have to have balls of steel regardless. Because you're up against a fucking trained killer who wants to kill you. So you're not a bitch. But I do think he wasn't sure whether he was going to win this one. So he was in no hurry to come over. But now I think he has a legitimate excuse, like because he's so close to his father, and B, like the Russians in general. Or that kind of the Eastern Europeans or whatever you want to call whatever fucking like I'm not very good at geography. Those well over there.
Dagestanis.
Yeah, just over there, just group the N7 and just those lads. They're very close to it's a very tight family because they grew up in the villages and like this. So that's going to hit him like a brick wall.
Yeah, he lives in his outlet's house, like.
Yeah,
and his wife, kids, and all live with the outfit. Like he's still in the family home, you know.
That's what I mean. So that's going to rock him. Like he won't. I mean, he certainly won't be training for the next month or two.
One thing I will say, he's probably been in camp. The fight is in Abu Dhabi, so if like, I don't think he'd come to America to fight, but it's in Abu Dhabi. You might have some chance, but you couldn't. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
How could you? Two months later, like if you were even able to take 2 weeks off and go back training, you've 6 weeks training for a big fight like that. I can't see it. The only thing I could see is maybe they push the fight back, put it back to November or something like that. But I think the UFC will want to move on, so they might do. You can't do another fucking. How can you do another interim belt? Gaethje McGregor, like it'd have to be for the belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can't take it off either. So
exactly. So it's interesting to see.
Unless they push it back and set up Conor versus Ferguson.
I don't know if McGregor's going to fight Ferguson. I don't know if he wants to. I don't know if he wants to. He wants that belt, I'm sure. So.
But see, I think after watching the Gaethje fight, he'd be more confident to go in there for Ferguson. And I understand that he wants the belt. But I mean, he's not getting the belt. He's not getting the belt anyway until Gaethje and Khabib fight anyway. So he might as well fucking go in and because I mean that Ferguson fight will sell millions.
Yeah, but he has next shot. Why would you go and fight Ferguson? It's kind of like why did Ferguson go and fight Gaethje? Because you were next.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So why would McGregor go and fight Ferguson when he's clearly next?
The problem is that if that fight isn't happening till December, January, Gaethje, but Conor can't wait that long to fight before, and then just rock up. Because again, if there's other lads in that division that are fighting throughout, that are getting up to toward them, you know, they'll push Conor out of the way for the next shot. So Conor will have to fight the next.
What you make of Poirier and Hooker? Did you watch that?
I watched some of it. I fell asleep. And I haven't gone back to it, but yeah, it was a fucking Poirier is a whopper. He's a whopper fighter. Like I'd say, like I know Conor got him early on, whatever that, and done on the business, but he's grown so much as a fighter. He's a tough bastard.
He fucking that. Did you ever watch the Gaethje fight? Him and Gaethje.
Yeah, that's the thing. The Poirier puts on some absolute classics.
Yeah, he was probably one leg kick away from just folding in half, and he just said, "Right, fuck it," and dropped him, smashed him.
Yeah.
So. Like, could you see McGregor maybe fighting Poirier? I could see that happening.
I don't think so because Conor already fought and dismantled him pretty handily. And McGregor will, like, I mean, like we us as fans will look at that and say, well, no, it's a different Poirier now, so it's going to be a different fight, and it's a different Conor because Conor's more out of practice if anything, and Poirier has been fighting consistently. Conor hasn't been, so it's more of a. Like Poirier has a much better chance of beating Conor this time around, but I just don't think Conor will take that fight because he's already done it. I think he's looking this way. I know you're saying about the Ferguson fight, but like it's a real test for Conor. It would be an absolute barn. It would show Conor's toughness because he's going to be like let's say Ferguson's going to toe to toe with the fucker and that would suit Conor, but it also mightn't suit Conor as well. Like.
You feel so bad for him. He was 10 months, 9 months, whatever it was, waiting for that fucking Khabib fight. And last couple of weeks, it's changed to like a guy like Gaethje.
Yeah.
And he just went in to slug it out with him, where his game plan would have come completely different.
Oh yeah, he trained to wrestle and hold off takedowns, and then to be put up against a stand-up fighter.
The last couple of weeks, it's like you can't really change game plan. You just go for it and see what happens. But you kind of look at that now, and you're kind of inclined to dismiss Ferguson, where before it was like, oh, Ferguson's going to be the man. He's going to be the one to beat Khabib. If anyone can do it, it's going to be Ferguson. And because of what you're seeing happen, you're kind of like, it's easy to kind of dismiss everything you've done before that. But you're like, man, that guy is a fucking savage. Like the beating he took off Gaethje, and he was still, fucking shaking his head and wanting to keep going. Like, so I mean, him and Conor would be a smashing fight, but I don't see McGregor wanting it for whatever reason. Masvidal maybe, but I don't see him like that. Tony fight is so fucking dangerous.
I think Conor beat Masvidal. I think Conor will beat Masvidal. I don't think Masvidal wants that fight. I don't think Masvidal wants that fight.
Well,
he'll say he does, but I don't think he wants it.
He'd take that fight any day over Usman. Usman's like going into that Khabib fight. It's like, man, he's just gonna want to get hands in you and fucking hold you down and fucking beat on you for 5 rounds. He's not gonna want to stand. Like, McGregor's gonna stand toe to toe. Masvidal.
But yeah, but McGregor has the power and ability to flatten him. I don't. I think Masvidal. I think Masvidal would rather lose.
Never been knocked out.
No, but that's the same. But he's never been hit by Conor. Because what's one thing about McGregor? McGregor's his power.
Look at the size of Darren Till. Darren Till dropped him and he just bounced back up smiling and fucking knocked him out.
Yeah.
Masvidal he's no joke, and he's one of these. He's so well rounded. Like, I've seen him against point fighters, sort of similar style to McGregor, and he fought Wonderboy, and Wonderboy kind of pieced him up a little bit. He couldn't, but that was the length of Wonderboy, I think. He's fought against like top jiu-jitsu guys, and
oh well, he's fighting so long, and he's done it all. Yeah, he's done it all. But I think at this stage of his career, I don't think he'd sue. Just like as in, if Usman gets him, and Usman's going to kind of hold on to him and that's just elbow him here, kidney punches, like elbows in the air, they just kind of mangle him and then outpoint him. I think Masvidal would rather just blaze of glory. Let's go after Conor and just like. Oh no! Sorry, the other way around. I think he'd prefer to lose that way. Yeah, no, sorry. I think he'd prefer to lose that way because it's like he can turn around afterwards. He can turn around and say, "Oh well, I couldn't get me." Whereas if it's Conor and they're toe to toe and Conor hits him with them clean hit lefts, like there's very few men that can stand up to that them shots. Like, yeah, it might be fair. I'd prefer. Yeah, I'd prefer Conor and Ferguson would be my favourite fight to happen, and if not, Conor Masvidal. I think that because Conor has to fight soon, regardless.
Would you like to see him fight Gaethje then? Step in instead of say Khabib.
I don't Gaethje doesn't excite me as a fighter. I don't know why. He's a good fighter. I'm not again because I'm no expert, so I'm not like they all batter me. But it's just like when you. Well, that's true. Yeah, I could throw a few leopard loops in you.
I've had a few strangers back in the Glen back in the day.
Do you know what I mean? Ask the lads about me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't get these crooked teeth from bad dentures. Like, they're all dig marks. You see, like literally, I actually think there's a knuckle. I don't know if you can say it, but like, there's a gap right in there where someone come punch me. I won that fight though. Battered him. Slod. He just got a lucky one. I'm just saying, as far as like kind of super fights go, like I think Gaethje's a good fighter. I just wouldn't be as excited for Conor and Gaethje as it would be for Conor and Ferguson. I think Conor and Ferguson would just be a fucking barnstormer because Conor can't resort to wrestling. He has to stand there and just fucking like throw the blows, like. And Ferguson, although Ferguson can. That's what I mean. And although Ferguson kind of can wrestle a bit, I think he's just the sort of person that will just keep walking. He's like a fucking zombie. Like Diaz, just keep walking forward and just keep taking wear you down. He'll wear down your hands.
That pace, isn't it? It's that stamina. He just keep coming, and he doesn't mind getting hit. He's one of those that like you hit him and he revels in it.
He thrives off it. Yeah, he thrives off getting hit like he's a psycho. But yeah, I think we're well past that time anyway for the first podcast.
Numero uno didn't talk once about music.
Yeah. Well, I want to say to people, like, this is not going to be, as you can see, a music podcast. So we will touch on music and stuff. And if people want to know about, why I stopped rapping or why I stopped battling or what Tera has coming out next and all, of course we can delve into that sort of stuff as well.
Sure we will. But we're going to get into it, yeah.
Yeah, but we want to try and make it more our opinions on topics, daily topics, current topics. That's kind of what because like, as far as music goes, Tera has all that covered and stuff like that and all anyway, by actually doing it. So we want to kind of branch out into a different kind of part of life.
Well, I mean, the plan is we're going to be doing at least one of these, if not a couple of days a week anyway. So I'm sure we're gonna get into everything. We bring
exactly, and as I say,
start getting guests
whatever you want. Whatever you want. If you want us to talk about stuff, if you want to ask us questions, you want us if I actually know some fella put in, you want us to talk about the death of free speech, we'll do that probably in the next one, because that is a good topic to talk about. And the death of comedy as well, which is because I love comedy. Bit of a comedian myself, so that's fucking hilarious. So I love comedy. And I do think it's sacred ground that it's been kind of attacked lately, and I'm not a fan of that. So tune in next week where I go apeshit on far lefties trying to censor comedy.
All right. Peace out.
Right, have fun, guys. We see you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed it.